Good evening, everybody. I hope all of you are having a good week. Have a good week so far. For this week's reading, it's going to be a it's going to be a departure from my usual poetry reading. In the fact that the piece I'm going to read this week was something I did not write. In fact, it comes from the late poet Benjamin Zephaniah. And in the I found that he passed away 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, and in the midst of the hearing about his life, I ended up looking up his poems, and this one particular piece resonated with me so much that it just feels like a kind of a bellwether for the sign of the times, and a reflection of one of my deeper held beliefs that we're all in this crazy world together. That it feels appropriate for the last video before Christmas. The piece that I'm gonna read from Benjamin is called "People Will Always Need People," and it goes something like this: People need people to walk to talk to cry and rely on. People will always need people to love and to miss, to hug and to kiss. It's useful to have other people to whom to moan if you're all alone. It's so hard to share when no one is there. There's not much to do when there's no one but you. People will always need people to please, to tease, to put you at ease. People will always need people to make life appealing and give life some meaning. It's useful to have other people if you need a change, to whom you will turn. If you need a lesson, from whom you will learn. If you need to play, you'll you'll know why I say people will always need people. As girlfriends, as boyfriends, from Bombay to Ostend. People will always need people to have friendly fights with and share tasty bites with. It's useful to have other people. People live in families, gangs, posses, and packs. It seems we need company before we relax. So stop making enemies and let's face the facts. People will always need people. Yes, people will always need people. So yeah, I came across a patch of this in the midst of reading about Benjamin's life and his poems. I came across a patch of people always need people scrolling through my social media feed, and naturally my curiosity led me to the entire poem, and it was like, okay, this sounds like a perfect piece to head into the holidays with, and a reminder that we, despite all our differences, the things that we don't agree on, we all need each other. Because why else? How else are we going to survive this crazy thing called life if we don't have our friends, our loved ones, our colleagues at work? Like all of it is essential to existing in existing. We really do need each other, especially in the times where things are not in an ideal place, where it seems like where there's strife all over the everywhere you look seemingly these days. it's that belief. It's that belief in the shared sense of humanity that that guides me every day. That illuminates my simplistic, borderline naive way of looking at the world. But in the end, we're all we're all linked together, in some way. And life is much more of a joy when you have company to enjoy it with. Benjamin's right. People will always need people. Well, everyone, that's it for this week's video. As and this is gonna be the last video for 2023. I know it's crazy that we're at Christmas time already, and in less than a week we'll be starting 2024. I just want to say thank you to everyone who's read my poems, shared my poems, left comments on my pieces. All of it means a lot to me for someone who's trying to find his voice in this world. Even if at times it doesn't always come in, even if it comes in muddled most of the time. I'm trying to get my voice out there, and with everyone's kindness, support, and encouragement, I know I'll get there at some point in time. I just before we close out the video, I just want to wish everyone that celebrates Christmas. I hope all of you have a Merry Christmas. That this weekend is spent in joyous company with those you love, and that you have all your Christmas wishes come true. And for everyone, I hope all of you have an amazing final week of 2023. It's been a chaotic year in more ways than you can imagine. But here we are, like we somehow survived it all and lived to fight on for another turn of the calendar. I'll still be posting next week, primarily as the focus shifts to looking back at 2023 and looking ahead to 2024. I'll be back to the full schedule in the new year. Until then, I hope all of you have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful remainder of December. A Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I'll speak to you all on screen again in January. Good night, everybody.